Imagine this. You're out with your friends on a summer day, filming a video for TikTok, hoping it goes viral. Well, for one group of teens, that's exactly what happened, but it was for all the wrong reasons. On June 19, 2020, a group of friends in Seattle were exploring the rocky shores of Alki Beach. They were playing with a new app that sends you to random coordinates, basically a real-life adventure game. They were hoping to find something cool or quirky, maybe even some treasure. And they did find something. They stumbled on a black suitcase that had washed up on the rocks. Joking that it might be full of cash, they grabbed a stick to pry it open. What they found wasn't treasure. First, it was the smell, an overwhelming, horrific smell. Then, inside a black plastic bag, they saw what looked like human remains. The app that led them to that horrifying spot was called Randonautica. It was a huge trend on TikTok during the first pandemic lockdowns in 2020. The idea was simple. The app uses a quantum random number generator to give you coordinates to explore. It was like a choose-your-own adventure in the real world. Users would set an intention, thinking about something they wanted to find, and then see if the universe would deliver. These Seattle teens were probably just trying to cure their lockdown boredom, but their adventure took a turn that no one saw coming. The video they filmed shows the whole thing. It starts out fun, with laughing and joking as they walk up to the suitcase. The captions on the now famous video read, "We were joking that maybe the suitcase would have money." But the smell was overwhelming. The second they pried it open with a stick, the mood changed. They could see that whatever was inside was wrapped up in heavy-duty black trash bags. They didn't need to see any more. The smell was enough. One of the girls in the group somehow kept her cool and called 911. The next day, they posted the video to TikTok with hashtags like #crime and #murder. It exploded, racking up millions of views and throwing a real-life murder investigation into the global spotlight. Being dismembered, and a forensic anthropologist, Dr. Kathy Taylor, noted that the way it was done seemed disorganized, like the killer used different tools and maybe even had help. This painted a chilling picture of just how far the killer went to get rid of the bodies. With the victims identified, the big question was not just who did this, but why. Police had no suspects and no clear motive. They briefly looked into the teens who found the bags but quickly cleared them. They also confirmed that the Randonautica app was just a bizarre coincidence. The investigation then turned to the lives of Jessica and Austin, hoping to find a clue that would lead them to their killer. When Seattle police got to Alki Avenue, they confirmed the teens' worst fears. The suitcase did contain human remains, and the story only got darker. As police searched the area, they found a second bag in the water nearby, which also held remains. They immediately cordoned off the beach, and homicide detectives took over. The King County Medical Examiner's Office had the grim job of figuring out who the victims were and how they died. A few days later, they had an answer. The remains belonged to 35-year-old Jessica Lewis and her 27-year-old boyfriend, Austin Wenner. Both had been murdered. Austin had died from a single gunshot wound to his torso, while Jessica had been shot multiple times. Investigators figured they had been killed about 10 days earlier, around June 9th. The case was both gruesome and puzzling. The bodies had. Behind the shocking headlines were two people whose lives were cut short. Jessica Lewis was a 35-year-old mother of 4. She worked as a caregiver for adults with developmental disabilities. Her aunt, Gina Jashka, described her and Austin as nice, normal people. They'd been in a loving relationship for 8 years. Austin Wenner, who was 27 and often went by Cash, was remembered by his family as a kind and gentle person. Like anyone, the couple had their struggles, but their families said they were a team, working hard to build a life together. They were completely devastated. Gina Jashka told reporters, "They were just nice people. Nobody deserves what happened to them." To the world, they became the bodies in the suitcase, but to their families, they were a daughter, a mother, a son, and a partner. Their violent deaths left a hole that could never be filled, and their loved ones were desperate for answers. Who could possibly do this to a couple just trying to get by? As it turns out, the answer was hiding in plain sight. The fact that a viral video blew this case wide open is a wild reminder of the world we live in now. It really makes you think. What would you have done if you were them? Let me know in the comments what you think about the strange role social media played in all of this. And if you want more deep dives into cases like this, think about subscribing to the channel. As police dug into Jessica and Austin's last known days, the trail led them to a house in Berrien, just south of Seattle. The couple had been renting a room there from their landlord, a 62-year-old man named Michael Lee Dudley. This was it, the breakthrough they needed. Looking back, the timeline was chilling. On June 9th, 2020, the exact day Jessica and Austin were believed to have been killed, neighbors had actually called 911 to report a fight at Dudley's house. They heard loud arguing, then gunshots. One neighbor even heard a man pleading, "Please don't do this. Just let me leave." When police showed up that night, no one answered the door, so they left. 10 days later, the teens found the suitcases. Cell phone records became the key. The data showed that Jessica Lewis's phone went silent on the night of that 911 call. It also placed Michael Dudley's phone near Alki Beach the day before the remains were found. With that, police got a warrant to search Dudley's house. What they found was damning. The room Jessica and Austin had been renting was under renovation, but when investigators looked closer, they found freshly patched-over bullet holes in the wall. And even though someone had tried to clean up, they still found a small smear of Austin Wenner's blood. Prosecutors argued the motive was simple and tragic, a fight over rent. Dudley had apparently gotten angry that the couple was behind on payments, which led to the fatal argument. Police also determined the suitcases used to dump the bodies belonged to Dudley. Even without a direct eyewitness to the murders, the mountain of circumstantial evidence, the neighbor's 911 call, the cell data, the bullet holes, the blood, was overwhelming. On August 19th, 2020, Michael Dudley was arrested. After a long trial, a jury found Michael Dudley guilty of murdering Jessica Lewis and Austin Wenner in December 2022. In April 2023, the man some called the lethal landlord was sentenced to 46 years and 8 months in prison. At 65 years old, it's basically a life sentence. Dudley still claims he's innocent, but for the families, the verdict finally brought some justice. Austin Wenner's mother, Charlene Creans, said, "The world is a safer place without Michael Dudley in it. Everybody can rest easy tonight because of that." This case left its mark on everyone. For the teens, a day of summer fun became a trauma they'll never forget. For the families, the viral video brought a special kind of pain. Jessica's aunt, Gina Jashka, publicly begged TikTok and the creators to take the video down. She said it was incredibly disrespectful for their family to see the discovery of their loved ones' remains replayed over and over for entertainment. The very video that brought the crime to light had become a source of constant grief for the people who were hurting the most. This story is a shocking modern tragedy, where a TikTok trend crashed head-on into a brutal double murder. A random set of coordinates from an app led a bunch of kids not on a fun adventure, but to the final resting place of two people who were killed over something as small as rent. The story of Jessica Lewis and Austin Wenner is a heartbreaking reminder of the real people and real pain behind the true crime headlines. And it leaves you with one last, unsettling thought. In a world where everything is filmed, what other dark secrets are just floating out there, waiting for a random click to drag them into the light? Please like and subscribe to this channel.